Have you ever wondered, how can we distinguish between sincerity and deceit, especially in an increasingly complex world today? In life, we all have moments when we place our trust in the wrong place, leaving behind wounds that are hard to heal. But what if you could see through those facades early on and recognize even the smallest signs of dishonesty? Today, I will share with you a story, one that seems simple but holds valuable insights into the art of detecting deception. In this story, you will see how an intelligent person uses keen observation and subtle strategies to see through others. The subtle expressions, the way someone speaks, small gestures, or a fleeting glance can reveal more than we think. This will be the key that not only helps you avoid lies but also build more sustainable relationships based on genuine trust. Please join us as we delve into this story and learn how to effectively identify deceitful people. Don't miss the ending, where you'll find helpful lessons to protect yourself and live a wiser, more enlightened life. In a small monastery nestled among the pine ridges of the Rocky Mountains, there was an old Zen master named Marcus Thompson. With white hair and sharp eyes that seemed to hold an ocean of wisdom, he had spent over 50 years studying human nature and guiding lost souls. His reputation spread far and wide, even to the big cities, attracting countless seekers for enlightenment. One autumn afternoon, as golden leaves danced in the breeze, a young man named William Parker entered the monastery, his eyes red and his shoulders drooping. He had just experienced a severe emotional shock after discovering that his best friend, whom he had treated like a brother for 10 years, had deceived him in a business deal, causing him to lose all his savings. "Master," William said with a trembling voice, bowing his head, "I don't understand how someone can pretend to be so close, so caring for so many years just to wait for the chance to betray. How can I trust anyone again after this?" Marcus Thompson gently poured tea into 2 ancient porcelain cups. The faint scent of lotus filled the quiet air. "William," he began softly, "there is a story I would like to tell you. Many years ago, in a small coastal town, 2 men opened a seafood shop together. James and Michael were childhood friends. Their shop prospered quickly thanks to their joint dedication. However, James had a habit of silently observing and noting everything in a small notebook, while Michael often talked about grand plans and frequently gave gifts to James. One day, a major storm hit the town. Michael suggested they buy large ice chests to store seafood, and James agreed to contribute his share. However, when the storm passed, James discovered that Michael had embezzled the money and fled, leaving behind a mountain of debt. James was utterly devastated until an old fisherman came to see him. He took out James's old notebook and pointed out his own notes. Michael had never contributed money for purchases, the gifts he gave were old or cheap, and his stories about future plans were always inconsistent. William listened intently, silent tears streaming down his face. Marcus continued, "You see, deceitful people often share common traits. They frequently talk about grand plans but rarely follow through. They give gifts and praise excessively, but their actions are inconsistent. They often create urgent situations to seek help, especially financial aid." William nodded, pieces falling into place in his mind. "So how can one identify an honest person, Master?" Marcus smiled warmly, his eyes reflecting deep understanding. "You know, honest people have distinctive characteristics that, if you pay attention, you can recognize. First, they never feel the need to constantly prove their sincerity. They don't often say 'trust me' or 'I swear', as they understand that trust is built over time, not through words alone." He paused for a moment, sipped his tea, and continued, "An honest person has a remarkable consistency between words and actions. If they say they will do something, they will follow through. If they can't, they will explain why and offer an alternative solution. This consistency remains regardless of whether someone is watching or not. They hold to their principles even when alone." William nodded attentively, and Marcus continued, "Another important trait is how they respect boundaries. An honest person never pressures or coerces someone to make immediate decisions. They allow others the space and time to think, to refuse, and respect that choice. They don't try to control or manipulate others' emotions through threats, complaints, or sulking. Notably, Marcus emphasized. An honest person never seeks to create dependence. They don't intentionally make others feel indebted to them, either mentally or materially. When they help someone, they do so with pure intentions, without conditions or expectations of repayment. They encourage others to develop independence and self-confidence. Marcus's eyes grew contemplative. And do you know what the clearest sign of an honest person is? It's how they handle mistakes. They don't just accept responsibility. They proactively recognize and admit their mistakes before anyone else points them out. They don't blame circumstances, make excuses, or try to downplay their faults. Instead, they focus on remedying the situation and learning from their mistakes. An honest person also has a subtle characteristic. He added, they are not afraid of silence in conversations. They don't feel the need to fill every pause with words. They are comfortable with quiet moments and allow conversations to flow naturally. Lastly, Marcus concluded, an honest person can express and accept their imperfections. They don't try to create a flawless image. They acknowledge their weaknesses, share their fears and worries sincerely, and let others see their true selves. This reflects genuine confidence, not the confidence that comes from hiding flaws but from embracing oneself fully. William sat in silent reflection, absorbing the profound teachings. He began to realize that identifying an honest person goes beyond observing outward actions. It involves sensing their genuine energy and consistency in their words and gestures. In the following months, William frequently visited the monastery to learn more from Marcus. Gradually, he not only learned how to identify deceitful people but also understood the importance of being an honest person himself. A year later, William returned to the monastery with a radiant smile. He had built a successful small business and found trustworthy companions. I have learned, he told Marcus, that recognizing deceitful people isn't about becoming skeptical of everyone but appreciating genuine relationships even more. Marcus nodded with satisfaction. You have understood the essence of the lesson. Not everyone deserves our trust, but that doesn't mean we should close our hearts. Instead, open your mind, listen to your intuition, and observe people's actual actions. Because, in the end, it is actions, not words, that are the true measure of a person. The story of William and Marcus quickly spread through the community. Many came to the monastery not only to learn how to avoid deceit but also how to become more genuine themselves. They understood that in a world full of masks, maintaining and nurturing sincerity is the most precious gift we can give ourselves and those around us. Today, at the monastery among the pines, Marcus continues to share lessons on sincerity and recognizing deceit. He often reminds his disciples, life isn't about avoiding deceitful people, it's about becoming a beacon of honesty, so like-minded souls can find each other in the dark. What did you learn from the story? How can you recognize the signs of deceit? First, pay attention to the consistency between words and actions. Deceitful people often speak grandly, but their actions contradict their words. They may give gifts or offer excessive praise to manipulate emotions. Moreover, they often create urgent situations to exploit others' kindness, especially involving money. On the other hand, honest people don't feel the need to prove their sincerity with words like, "Trust me." They act consistently, whether someone is watching or not. They respect boundaries, never pressuring you to make hasty decisions, and do not create dependencies that make you feel indebted. Another clear sign is how they face mistakes. Honest people proactively admit their mistakes without blaming circumstances. Their comfort with silence in conversations also indicates they don't rely on excessive words to create trust. So, what's the takeaway for us? Observe carefully and listen to your intuition. Cherish genuine relationships and build trust based on actions, not words. Never rush important decisions. Honest people will respect your boundaries. If someone pressures you for an immediate response, be cautious. Live honestly, and you will become a beacon, attracting those with similar values to your side. Finally, William's story is a reminder that recognizing deceit is not to live in skepticism but to protect yourself and value those truly deserving of your trust. Thank you for watching. Remember, your sincerity is the most precious gift you can give to yourself and those around you.